Yo guys, my name is Rudo, and this is, I don't know, this is not the Trade for the Living podcast, but I ask a big question. I'm going to share my big bullish hope for Bitcoin with you guys, and on the basis that what will happen for Bitcoin into the future and how will this impact our altcoins. So let's look at this. So yesterday we were here. Things were really getting hairy at some stage, and I explained to you guys that I would use 93 as an excuse to exit my longs. So from a trading point of view, if I were to bring up a trading chart, this is basically what I would see. And this is the chart that I actually used in this morning's trade stream. So if you want to zoom into that in greater detail, watch this morning's video, you'll see that. So I was expecting that we were going to reject at 93. And this is now a 15-minute analysis, but had big implications for the daily and the weekly time frame. Reject here so that I can build a base, offload my last took long-term long for Bitcoin, and then from that point on prepare for Bitcoin to go to 87. Now, as I said this morning, go and have a look. This is still not invalidated, but for now I'm just going to park that idea of 80 to the side, because if we keep on doomsdaying every bloody dip and everybody pump, you're never going to be doing anything. So it's important that you kind of have to have a healthy disconnect of what could potentially happen next. So back to this chart. Now the day is not done yet, still 11 hours left, but this is optimistically bullish. So I would want to wait and see where the day closes. So forget about the RSI real quick, but this supply wave, this red line that I've got here in the chart, that is significant for us. Okay, so if at the end of the day we start closing and we still below this level here, I would say thank you, we got more gains, and I would look for a range to be built, and I would expect that something like this will happen. We'll chop around here for a few days as the market needs more exit liquidity to go for these lows down here at 88, 87. But if the market remains strong and the daily closes, this candle closes from the bottom, and this is some pro trader tips here that I'm sharing some secrets with you guys. If we close above the 23.6 on the daily, so Bitcoin closes at 96,600, close to 97,000. The statistics points very good to the next day to be bullish. Good example would be if you use this day, okay? So what do you want? You want it to close in that upper end, and then it's going to be more bullish, like I said, on that day. But once you have a scenario where you've got a candle that closes, but with a really high weak wick in, like this, good example of this one, expect more range to be built. Doesn't mean that the trend is over, but it just tells you that at this point, that supply is still exhausting the market. It's going to push price down. Okay, so that's that for now. So looking at our bags and from the analysis from yesterday, I'm not saying that this is off the table, but the reaction in the market. Look at this crazy wick that we had. It's this, I don't know what you call gravestone, doji. This crazy price action on the daily. It means that there is a huge appetite for demand. And now I want to just see that continue onwards, and that's the plan here. Okay, simple as that. So that's a little bit of an analysis / trading behind us now. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, we need to break this $96,000. So you need to just keep an eye on that. Don't do anything with your hodl bags. Give the market time to go do what it needs to do. Okay. Break through that area and start trading above it, because then it will open the door for more. Okay. Now, on some of the alts, we're going to go look at them. The same happened. They kind of went to the danger zones, to the preliminary buy zones in most cases. So for now, we want to see these levels will hold. So whatever shakeout we had yesterday, your job is to do basically the following and say, okay, right, this is proof that there was demand in the market, because you cannot move the market through limit orders. And somebody that buys something on a market executed order has demand. I want to get in, get me in. Okay. I don't want to wait. But as soon as somebody is haggling the market, throwing a limit order in, I will buy if, or I will sell if. You have a scenario where that is not true intention. You can still change your mind. One candle can still change that guy's mind. But the people that bought here their minds can no longer be changed. They're in. They bought with a demand and with a market executed mindset. Okay, so makes sense. Hello, Brahman. Hello, Liquid Dogs, and Renee, Stanko, and Mr. To the Mars. He's not going to take his portfolio to the moon. He's going to take it to the Mars. So hopefully I can help facilitate that. No, without giving any financial advice, of course. Okay, guys. So here we are. Let's quickly have a look at the rest of our altcoin bags. I'm going to start off with the Big Daddy Ethereum. So I'm currently in an ETH long, and ETH went to the buy zone from yesterday, and a lot of the other alts have stayed above this consolidation range. So now I can close off some of the squibble with you guys so that we can have a look at what they did. So ETH has gone to this area. So from this buy zone, okay, I'm still expecting Ethereum to be lazy. This is still the bias. I expect it to be lazy, but what I don't want to see is losing the extremes. So $3,000 needs to be locked in as profit. Okay, so it can wick down to about $3,000. That would still be okay, but I want to see this thing holding that area and now start charging into this bigger imbalance sitting right there and another one sitting right there. So the targets for Ethereum still sitting at 3,600 to about 3,800. Hopefully, I want to see if we try and get this to that point there. Okay. And then also what I want to try and do real quick is just to, let me just quickly, just give me a sec, guys. I've got an open trade that I just wanted to, excuse me, bang in some gains there. I'm multitasking like a chameleon with my eyes here on the screens. So yeah, maybe we need to trademark that term, trade like a chameleon, you know. And but in any case, so I'm still in a long for ETH, and I still want to try and see if I can get ETH to 3,500 there about on the larger time frame swings. Okay. As for Cardano, these kind of things, you can see Cardano held support like the example of the other coins. So this means that there's still room for an update. So this might be a consolidation, and this opens the door still for coins like Cardano. So to still have triangle patterns, continuation patterns form, meaning that price could still potentially chop around these levels, building a base before we break out. So the fact that I'm bullish is not based on the fact that I'm expecting the breakout today. Neither should you. So it can still probably do that. But for now, it's proven that there's demand. So you need to use these wicks. 87 for Cardano on the daily, 3,000 for Ethereum on the daily. You know, Bitcoin Cash, 398 on the daily. That demand that's there, you know, you need to use that then as an invalidation. Okay, so it's still fine as a buy because the buy is the buy, long-term buys. I mean, look at the previous zone that I shared with you guys. It stayed in that area for a long time. Remember, we're not trading on the stream. This trading is in the morning. Here we're hodling, we're buying to own the coin on our wallets or on the exchange, whatever you decide to do with your coins. Okay, so and looking at Polkadot's coins like that, it's giving you demand. So if the market wants to turn bullish and break these lows from yesterday's shakeout should not be broken through. Okay, Solana, same thing there. It's still holding on by a fingernail. It's still looking good. I would actually, in light of this, if we can go to this imbalance, reject, and turn this into a demand, this is the point where I would open another long-term leverage position, because my last leverage position was there. So I waited for the consolidation to take effect because they charge me money every day. So I'll do the exact same. Do this, show to me that you can stay above this range, and that's the next area, wherever it will be within that range. Well, I'll open my next long-term leverage position to drive this higher. Okay. and that's that for Solana. Let me go to the comment section real quick and see if there's anything. It's a very low viewership today. I think everybody is kind of probably busy. Remember to smash that likes from Ronwin. Yes, please do that. And as a kind reminder, today's video is, like always, is brought to you by Bybit. If you want to support the content, open a Bybit account and head over to my Discord. You can actually go to the navigation channel in my Discord, and you can use the Bybit bot to gain access to the buddy indicator, the live trading. There's probably where a lot of people are still waiting for me to go back. You can gain access to some of the live trading and some of the educational stuff. Not everything in the private groups, but you can do that. And alternatively, you can join my private group as well if you want to. There's a little button there. That's the fee. Click on the button, send the money, and you're in. Simple as that. Okay, so let's get back to the comments. I see there's a couple of good comments coming in through now. I think to answer those comments, I'm going to have to go over to the legacy side. So let's open this chart and let's read those comments. So what's your thoughts on the PPI and the CPI effects on crypto? Okay, now the effects on that, it's a really good question. And I get asked this a lot. Why would you chart the Dixie and not the USDT dominance for that answer? Because the reason I'm doing this is because we're looking at Bitcoin, and I actually need to find an image of this, the Bitcoin adoption. Let me quickly Google that. Give me a sec. Bitcoin adoption, Bitcoin tech adoption curve. Okay, so it's going to load that. Let's get the image in there. Come on, where's the images? Okay, we can use, I think this one is, this one's good. Okay, copy image. I'm going to paste it in here. There. Okay, so when you look at something that gets adopted, the wave that we're riding with coins at the moment is that in the beginning, a few people used the telephone, and then once everybody used the telephone, the giants in the phone industry got created, or the government, basically in our case, control the landline infrastructure and the electricity infrastructure. But as that adoption happens, the need goes up, and the businesses around that adoption keeps on growing up to a point where it gets saturated. Okay, so if I were to open a refrigerator business today, I'm going to invent the new fridge. Are you really going to want to invest in me? Everybody's already got a fridge. It's already there. But if I'm saying I'm inventing the new whatever line that is, that's going to still come to solve a problem to the humanity over time. That's where you want to invest. That's what Bitcoin and crypto is in essence. It's still in its early days where it still needs to grow and everybody needs to use it in the day-to-day. So the question is, when do you use crypto in your day-to-day? Have you used it in your day-to-day? I only use it purely from a trading point of view to make stable trade, and from an investment point of view. So we're not at any stage where my online purchases on any online website or something like that, or my banking is done on that. It's going in that direction. So we're in a situation where the adoption curve still needs to grow. Now, I went really far off topic for a simple question about what you're asking about CPI and PPI and their effects. But this is the base now. As this adoption drives, that's going to also give me a good indication on whether there's going to be new people entering the crypto market. And it's for that reason I do look at the CPI and the PPI. So I'm not looking at it as an immediate effect. Same with the Dixie. I'm not looking for it for an immediate effect. I'm looking to see whether that adoption curve is healthy, in the sense that will there be within the next few months more people entering the crypto space, therefore buying where it's at now. I bought way earlier, meaning also driving the price up, making it more valuable for me. And that's the whole idea. So if we take that now and I park that idea aside and we look at the Dixie, you can clearly see that the confidence is not with risk on assets at this stage yet. Okay, so the big push The push that's going to take Bitcoin now from where it's at now, maybe to 120 on the next wave, that has still to come. And the way that that will happen is in a situation where we're now in the imbalance. This is the right time for this thing to turn bearish and hopefully push back down, because we need, this is bottoms when there's a top signal on this. And it's still too soon for a top signal. Now, my worry is if we go there, that's Bitcoin $71,000, but it's too soon to tell. So we're kind of on that balancing point in the market. And to close this off, with light on what happened yesterday, I feel more too prone to say that I don't want to plan today for the 70. I would rather be pleasantly surprised if it falls below this area. And that's the idea. So you've got a clean line based on larger sentiment, CPI, PPI, all those things impact the Dixie, impact the interest rates, impact brings new people, whether they've got money to buy Bitcoin that's never bought Bitcoin before or any other coin. That's that chain of events that happens. And it's that chain of events that I kind of chart with these things to try and see that's there. And this bullish buy zone created a scenario where that chain of events does look positive for me at the moment. And I don't want to doomsday this into these lower targets. Okay, so hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments. I tend to over-explain some things sometimes, but and then we'll take it from there. Okay. We can look at those figures if you want to, but I doubt that I'm going to pull anything valuable out of it for you for today. Okay, so you sorted. Okay, so Mr. George Strickland is in the house. Hello, welcome. And Stanko is asking about Celestia. Okay, so let's start off with Celestia because I still have Celestia. And the reason, I don't want to do it here, undo. I need to go to the right tab. The reason I have is because I was greedy, just like you. We're all allowed to be greedy. For me, the bigger play was I want to double my money. Okay. And when we go into situations like this, didn't quite double the money. Okay. And it moved down. I want to now see this thing move into an action zone, the place where the turn was too quick. And I will offload then with the basis that it could still then come back down to $6 and go higher. Or if I'm wrong, then go higher high and come back, which means if I'm trading or investing on two strategies, I never do anything in a full measure, meaning I will sell half my coins when it gets there and I will buy back half the coin, the same amount if it goes higher and it ends up there. Okay. And if it goes lower, I will then reassess that money and move it in there. Okay. I did the same for OP. You know, OP gave me my opportunity to get out. Celestia didn't. Okay. So it's simple as that. So I'm waiting. The demand is created. Go and fill the imbalance, come back. I will use that as a buy zone to buy the OP back that I sold there from the original OP that I bought there. Okay. As simple as that. So that's how that's how I play this on the main entry. But once it starts moving, let's say we fast forward time for Celestia and everything. Okay. I do that here because you think that that's the low. Okay. And then it goes and surprises you. Then you rebalance your position. And then at some stage it does create that where it never goes back to those positions. And if I still have capital free available for that, I will buy in on lows like that. Or I'll buy another coin that is still consolidating because the market clearly is bullish then. And then I try and be proactive. I don't want to take profit here because it's too late. I take profit there before the move opens because you'll find that that's the area where there's the highest liquidity. Okay, meaning exit liquidity for you. And that's it. So this is on its journey, being there for another run. And I will do all my haggling around this area so that when the big move happens, it's there. Big move like what happened with Sui. You know, I don't think I need to do Sui again, but you get where I'm going with that. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else you guys want to have a look. Let me quickly go through some of my coins and picks. And then while that happens, send me your comments in. Yeah. Baldy, rare chance for me to catch a live with you as well. So nice to have you in the house. And Mumel, hello, Mumel and Renee. I see those regular is here as well. Okay, so let's quickly go through. Now, ordinals, guys, Rune, let's quickly load up Rune. Okay. This was the buy that I had. This is the alternative. It's still a valid area of support. But with this move, I would rather wait for this, which means Ethereum can go make that high now. Okay, so ETH goes to $3,600 as per the imbalance. Comes back, tests the lows, and this one barely goes up and then falls lower low still. So those would still be things that I would consider. So for this one, I will not grab it, but I did share it with you guys there as a momentum play. So I'm not adding any more on it. Okay. We can quickly have a look at Ordi. This was the original buy, sell, doubled my money, the rest I'm holding. Okay, simple. So for me, I don't have any risk on this thing. Okay, if you're new, okay, we're building a base. I think there should be strong bullish divergence at that bottom there. Let's quickly load it. See, yeah, strong bullish divergence. So it needs to get above 52. If it does, you treat that as support. So every time it wicks below that, you want to grab this area as a buy. And then you want to hold this one again. Give it time, because yet again, double your money, sell half, let the rest ride. Okay. And ordinals, they can have their time. Their magic's going to come, guys. Okay. Gaming. The one that I had my eye on was Super. Super missed my buy zone there. I was super disappointed. And I'm still waiting for an entry. But I think it is worth noting that we created a massive demand wave there. So I'm expecting the same. Go fill the imbalance, come back. We'll probably test this at some stage, and then I'll grab it. Something like that, with the hope that we don't do this. Okay, so that's the plan for me for Super on the gaming side. CHR, I also had a big excited hype on this one. And I brought this buy zone with you guys a while ago, and we've now banged this in. Now, this thing is maturing through its emotional market cycle. Meaning we've now created all the different emotions from hope all the way to euphoria. Okay. Hope all the way to euphoria. And we've gone through all the negative ones as well, from complacency all the way to capitulation and anger. So complacency, it's going to get better, and it didn't. Why did I grab it? And then when anger kicked in, you had your strong bullish divergence, meaning the market did make a lower low. RSI made a higher low, and we're about to test the first area of support. So it's somewhere between the pivot and there. So that's why that is the better buy zone for me. And it means nobody's talking or raving about this. So it's the same as grabbing it there. Once the momentum kicks in, it's going to go, and it's going to potentially make a higher high. So you can probably 3x, 5x, 10x your money easily on this. But as the rule goes, I always say, and not financial advice here, guys, it's just how I go about this. Grab it, double your money, sell the half, and let the rest ride. Okay. And listen to JJ Doc. Stanko is also asking me to talk about Brett. Now, meme coins at some stage was a really hot topic, but just like DeFi was the hottest topic the last bull cycle round. And at some stage, it does get a little overexcited with too much activity in it. So then that bus is so full, anything new, nothing really can move that much. So I'm not saying that we're there yet, but I'm just remembering that, and I'm sharing that with you guys on the basis. So memes could potentially reach a point where it's not there, it's not going to move. So let's have a look at them. Okay, so Dogecoin, let's start with the OG meme coin. Okay, this is daily time frame. Doge did really well consolidating, so you can see it looks like Bitcoin for in a big extent the same way. Maybe what I need to do is just load this is Doge on Bybit. If Doge is here on the big list, let's load this one. This one will have the TA on it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so big picture Doge. I would imagine that it's going to it's still going to find a way to 23. This is too extended, too much hype. It still needs to sell off. And that's going to ultimately be negative for memes, because if Doge starts selling off, it just tells you that the meme craze is kind of dying down. Shiba Inu, same thing, you know. We bought it there, it went like crazy. We bought it there, it went like crazy. And, you know, I think this needs to quiet down. So remember that gaming coin I shared now, GHX, where I said the emotional market cycle has basically matured nicely through it. This is very early still. So I still feel like from an emotional point of view, we're somewhere here in the anger zone for these kind of memes. The pressure still needs to set in before we can really have a crazy another 10x, 100x move. Now, on the other side of things, we can look at coins like Brett, like you asked, and a few like PEPE, Bonk, and those things. And they might be in a different emotional cycle. So when the narrative stops being a powerful driving force, you're going to have to take each coin on its own merit. And that's what layer one, when we had the layer one narrative, previous bull cycles, 2 bull cycles back, that was a driving force, and then all layer ones pump. These days, Solana can pump and Cardano and DOT, and those can be dead. So layer one doesn't really have a narrative pump. Meme might get to that maturity now where the narrative pump goes away, so you're going to have the pump per project as opposed to per narrative, okay, or per Bitcoin success, you know, because we know Bitcoin's the rising tide. Okay, so let's have a look at PEPE real quick. So you can see long accumulation. PEPE had a really long time where it was choppy business. So that is what created this big move. Effort versus result. Wyckoff rule number 1. Okay. Effort versus, no, number 3. Effort versus result. Number 2 is cause versus effect. Okay. And number 3 is supply versus demand. Not enough supply. How many times are we at the highs versus are we at the lows? More at the lows, demand. So that gave the reaction. Now, where we are now, the question that I'm asking you is, where is those 3 laws in effect? It's not there. So how can this thing keep on going higher if there's clearly not a lot of demand, but more supply? Okay. There's no accumulation. It's basically a redistribution. So the move, if there is another one, will be short-lived again. So I almost need this one to do exactly the same. Go through the cycle and mature a little bit at the bottom. Okay. So if it pumps immediately like now, it's going to be a quick pump. Just looking at the mechanics of how price moves. And then we're going to be back at that. So you almost don't want to do that. Okay. And that's for PEPE. And probably if I click on Brett, it's going to have a similar picture. Okay. So we got a good entry for Brett. I gave you guys, you know, continuation entries for Brett there, TP'd entry there, made a higher high, but it's that. It's not going to make 10x's anymore because you need long accumulation in order for this thing to turn this into a flat line and then run. Okay. So yeah, for me, I think it's spent. And then ask yourself a question, because there's good YouTube channels out there. You can use, man, the famous one, Crypto Banter. They're really good at identifying the trends early and the narratives, and then sharing that with the viewership. So whatever new hot potatoes out there, I can guarantee you they will be talking with it. They're more in the know with getting in on the move on an emotional point of view, where technical analysis can sometimes be construed as boring, because now I'm saying I need the coin to be sideways for forever, then I want to buy it and wait for the breakout. That doesn't make a good YouTube. That doesn't make excitement. Okay. And then ask yourself a question. Watch them. Are they ramping and raving about these coins still? Or is their attention somewhere else? So new money, will new money then be looking at these, or will they be looking at those coins? Because you need supply and demand. It's the first law of anything. And that's an honest way of literally analyzing the trend, for that matter. Okay. So that's my take on Brett. Okay. XRP. I did XRP yesterday as well. And let's open it up. Where is XRP hiding? There we go. Okay. Now, XRP, if you zoom out again, daily time frame, it had an accumulation. The problem that I had with XRP at this stage is the pump, normally short-lived with a dump. Pump, short-lived with a dump. Okay. Pump, is this short-lived with a dump? So that's the problem. I would rather look at this and say, okay, I'm not saying that it's over. We could make another leg like that. XRP can go to $6. But the risk says I need to stomach all this drawdown from an investor, a hodler point of view, because it will still be bullish, even though it goes into this retrace for the hope that it's going to go higher still. Or will I rather want to wait for a coin that's already there, which means I don't have to stomach the big retrace? Okay. And effort versus result. The result might not be done yet. Long accumulation, the breakout is basically not done yet. I need those to be balanced. Effort versus result. Okay. I need them to be balanced. So we can do this. Effort versus result. They balanced. So in this move, they pretty much played out. So effort and result, they balanced. They're about the same. So I would literally, the length of this is about the same as the length of that. So I would literally say that for me, XRP is over. Now, where does that come from? You've seen me do this chart many times, point and figure. And that's what point and figure tries to look at. It looks at the volatility, the amount of time price goes in a specific range, and it assigns a block to it, okay? And then in the olden days, before there was fancy computers that measured fib levels like this, you would then take that block, take the amount of horizontal rows versus the amount of blocks, and you'll do a simple multiplication number, and it would tell you at which block the next high would be based on a fib level, okay? That's how they would go about that. But it's still true. So whether I bullshit it in a way that I do this on the screen to just get the ratios right, it's still true. And it still works to the day. Okay. Effort versus result. Those three laws from Wyckoff doesn't change. Okay. So I hope that sorts out XRP for you. See, Evil Twin is in the house again. Hello, Evil Twin. Yeah. Let's see if there's a few more coins we can quickly run through. Centrifuge. Real world assets, RWAs, they will get their moment in time, guys. So I would consider grabbing some of this, but because it's still trending down, use this rule. Say you've got $1,000, whatever your amount is, let's just make it $1,000 for now. This is a $250, and the remaining fees, the remaining money needs to stay in money until you can add on to it. Okay, that's how you do it. So I'll be bullish on that one for that reason. Okay, let's see what else we've got here real quick. We can go to the meme again. Let's see Gummy. I haven't looked at Gummy for forever. You see now what is happening. Next big move will probably be with Gummy in mind. Long accumulation, the mechanics is being built. Then there's going to be a markup phase. Okay. Gummy, dogs, hamster, all those, I've been looking at them. They all have similar to moves. You know, Wojak. Why did I like Wojak? So we grabbed Wojak. Accumulation move, accumulation move. Big move. Wojak is on the other side of this now. I first need this narrative to die before I'll grab more Wojak. Okay, I'll rather look at something else. Okay, and the big narrative that we need to look at is something else, is AI coins. Okay, and deepen. Okay, so what did we have? Zebro, not ready yet. A16Z, not ready yet. So I'm not touching those just yet. Okay, from an investor point of view. Now it's different than you know, buying a little, planting a seed. You can potentially plant seeds there, meaning buy a little bit and just let it go. But investing in it, bringing in serious capital, breaking it into 4 or 6, and start buying up, using that capital to try and build a position, I won't do that just yet. Okay. Netmind, it's on its way, you know, from the buy zone. So it's showing you that there's strength in this narrative. And it could be that these AI deepens, they're going to be the next meme. So it's worthwhile grabbing some on these situations. Prime, same thing. You've had the accumulation, a little bit of a breakout, it's testing. So it is good to try and go to the additional highs. So looking good. Okay. And there's a few more ones. There's a Kosh, I think still needs a little bit of time. It's close to the end of this emotional cycle. So it's somewhere there in depression, moving into disbelief. So I would look at a Kosh for that reason. And then there's a few new ones like anyone. That's the buy zone that I shared with you guys with the ideas that I just want to get in with the momentum. But I'm not investing with big investment money long term for this just yet. This is just to try and make a little bit of money. Okay, so keep an eye on that. And then there's a few more, PHA, AOZ. You know, the breakouts will be short-lived. Let's give them some time. Let the narratives end up strong. And then from that point onwards, we will grab them and ride them out. Okay. NAKA is also utility tokens would start getting in. Not quite there. I'm excited about it, but it's not quite there. Props of prop base, you know, went to the base, doubled. It's back in that area. It's near the end of its emotional cycle, so it's worthwhile grabbing some there. $1,000, put $250 in. $10,000, put $2,500 in. You know, that kind of thing, and let's see where it rides. Okay, and that's everything that I thought and think I need to share with you guys for today. Tomorrow it's full day trading for me, so I'm not going to be on YouTube. I'm just going to be trading with everybody. Let's see where my ETH is going. So ETH is building a base within this range. Yeah, I'm positive about this trade to try and see if we can get that ETH back to 30,600 or 3,600 thereabout. Okay, no other questions, nothing left, guys. Thanks so much for taking the time. See you again if in the Discord later on. Otherwise, I'll be back on Thursday. Cheers, everybody.
I'll keep hustling.
Subscribe now.